Hey everyone, welcome in. I'm Captivate, and today we're looking at Vivi. This is one of the new leaders that's going to be coming to us in EBO3. I'm kind of going through looking at all of the leaders that are going to be coming out in the next set or two for us. So today we're looking at Vivi. Of all the leaders I've played, the playstyle of this leader is the most fun of the new leaders, so really excited to play her for real once she comes out. But her effect is once per turn. If your character with a base cost of 4 or more would be KO'd, you may trash one card from your hand instead. And then her activate main, this is the main ability of her, is you may rest this leader, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power during this turn, then up to one of your characters without a when attacking effect gains rush this turn. So she's basically a can't attack leader, which historically have been really bad in this game, but at least in the earlier turns you're going to be able to swing with her and then get like a card or two out of their hand, so it kind of offsets the can't attack text. A little bit of a better way to do it in my opinion, because if you don't need to use it, you can still attack and have a viable leader there. There is the one thing to note, that she can't give the rush to a character that has when attacking, which specifically in the deck list I'm playing now is Cavendish, which has when attacking once per turn, draw 2 cards and then trash one from your hand. So I'm not sure how optimized this deck list is, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think if Emu is still going to be relevant in OP14, you'd probably want to up the Roger count just to have that as a win condition against him. But the only new cards that we really get that I am currently playing in this deck is the Vivi, which says play up to one Straw Hat Crew or Alabasta type character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. Then you cannot play character cards during this turn. So on your 5 or 6 on turn, generally you'll play the Vivi, and then you have several targets off of this. You can play one of the 2 Namis or the Chopper. The new Nami that gets released alongside the Vivi says on play, you may give one of your active leaders minus 5,000 power during this turn, and then if you do, you draw 1 card. And then she has an activate main once per turn. If your leader has the Alabasta type, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. So her in combination with the leader is minus 3,000, which is super good. And one thing that we can do with the leader, you'll notice we have a couple of board control cards, namely the Beckman, Rayleigh, and Shanks, is we can use our leader effect before we play the character. So we obviously can't give them rush, but what we can do is reduce their power. So for the Shanks, he is a card that KOs a 10,000 power character, but with our leader effect, he's going to be able to KO a 12,000 power character, which really is the biggest drawback of this Shanks, is the fact that he can only KO a 10, because we're kind of at a point where a lot of the relevant bodies in the game are 12. Specifically, the 10 cost Newgates in Ace are 12,000 power. So with our leader, we can reduce their power to 10 and then play the Shanks to KO those. Or Rayleigh is a card that you can KO a 6,000 power character because you reduce its power by 3, and then KO a character that has a power of 3. So he can KO a 6,000 power character, but with the leader effect, we can turn that into an 8. And if you have a Nami from the previous turn, we can turn it into a 9,000 power character, which is a really good threshold. But generally with the deck, what we're doing is we are keeping our characters alive through the use of the once per turn leader effect, saying that we can trash 1 card out of our hand if they get KO'd. And then we're just drawing a bunch of cards off of the Cavendish that is really sticky on board, as well as getting to chain 10 cost Kaidos once we get into the late game. So I find that super fun, and I hope you all enjoy the games that I have for you today. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means so much to me, and I would love to hear what deck you're most excited for in the upcoming sets. Leave that in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoy the games. Thanks again for watching. Bonney, I'm not too familiar with Bonney. Like, I know she's out in 13 now, but I just never really end up playing into her, so I'm not too familiar with what she does. But we do get the Cavendish on 4, which as I've mentioned, I do like to play on 4. We could like preload one of these 1 cost Isabo and Luffy just gives a character minus 3,000, but I think I'm fine to just hold on to that for now. And we do have a pretty nice like 4, 6, 8, 10 curve already. We can take this, draw another card, get a Cavendish on board. I'm going to swing 5 first. I don't know what kind of triggers they have, but they can't really KO it. It would just make me potentially have to trash a card if they do have a KO trigger, so might as well play around whatever they could play. I do feel like they play Onami in the list, and then just like have like random early banish swings. Oh, okay, so they're playing the Perona. That makes sense. This is annoying with the Moria. I've had so many times where I've like never swung with Cavendish against that deck because they just spam the Pironas. We can take this as well, and then we'll just counter for the Bonney. Or they don't swing the Bonney, that makes sense too. So now we can go Vivi into Nami and get 2 bodies on board. Or we could play Cavendish. What do we want to do? Do we want to play Cavendish? No, I think we're pretty happy to just do this into Nami. And then I'm going to bottom deck one of my Shanks. And then on my next turn, I think I want to play Beckman. So that we can get... I want to get rid of the Bonney, probably. We're probably not going to take any more damage now, so I think I probably just trash the Perona. Okay, I'll just get rid of the Cavendish. I didn't notice that still in my hand. And from here, we can just swing 6. I don't need to play anything, and I don't need to give my Nami blocker rush, because I can just block a 5k swing for free. So anytime you have a 5k leader with a 6k blocker, just having to make the opponent swing for 6s is nice. Yeah, and then on our next turn, if these are the only 2 characters they have on board, and we're going to play the Beckman, I think I want to get the Bonney off of the board. Maybe I get rid of the Perona. I can kind of see an argument for either, because like this is going to generate them value, but at the same time, I don't think we'll be taking any more life since our hand is so big. So yeah, I'd probably just get rid of the Perona. I like already hinted at that. Because this is 2 cards to get out of, I think I'm happy to just use Vivi, let it die, use my leader effect to get rid of a Nami, and just kind of get out of a 2-card swing for 1 card while keeping the Vivi alive. Alright, so they're going to stun the Cavendish. This guy's never going to end up swinging. Yeah, and then now we can... that's fine. If they're going to do that, I'll just let it die. She basically blocked twice, so I can't really complain about that. And I think this is end of my turn. So, like, end of your opponent's next turn is still the end of my turn. So if I kill this Perona, these things will get stunned until the end of my turn. So it won't really affect anything there. Yeah, so I'm going to play Beckman. Actually, let's see. How do we want to do this? I think I want to get rid of the Perona so that they can stop stunning the Cavendish. So let's just do... Let's do this. We'll go 3-2 KO. Stun my Cavendish. Sure. Give this -2. Give this rush, and then we'll KO this one as well. Yeah, because like I said, I shouldn't be taking damage. And I wasn't gonna swing with that Nami anyways. I do think they probably play the 9-cost Boa. I feel like she's a staple in every yellow deck. But if they do play that, they can't get the Dawn on their Bonney. Yeah, so now we can just play Shanks next turn and just KO this Moria. Alright, yeah, Cavendish is never swinging. This guy is never going to draw us a card. So I can block 2k, and then if I do that, I'll still have to give 1k. I think I'll do that and make them swing the Bonney. So we'll block 2k this. And then if they swing this, I'll obviously counter out of it. But I'd like to make them swing it at least. So I'm going to leave my Nami standing. I'm going to KO the Moria with my Shanks. And then I can give him Rush and go 12 at lead. I would love to have played my Cavendish, but that's okay. So we'll do this, and then we have a 12k swing. And then we have 2-2-1 in our hand, so... probably take a damage next turn, depending on how they swing. Play another Perona out. Okay. Alright, I wasn't going to swing the Nami anyways. They have so many cards in hand. 10 cards in hand. Alright. Bonney. I really dislike the picture that they used for this, but, oh yeah, so she does have Rush. Okay, I kind of forgot about that card. But they didn't play a Perona, which means we can swing with the Cavendish. Let's go. I will give a 1k here. So I think what I want to try to do is counter out of these swings, and then I can block with Nami, trash my Rayleigh to keep her alive. We'll give another 2k, because I can either play the Shanks next turn, or so if I give 2 here and then they swing this, I have to either block or take, which is very annoying. But I think I just give the 2 here, and again make them turn this. And then now we can block with Nami, or they swing it really. Do I still want to block with Nami? So if I block here and then they swing 5, they have shown they don't want to swing this card. So like I can kind of assume they're not going to swing it. But if they do and I take it, I kind of am in a pretty bad spot. I'm going to be able to pretty much clear their board. So I'm just going to let the Rayleigh... Oh, actually, I forgot about my leader effect. Yeah, cool. I think they did too. So now I have the best of both worlds. Yeah, I totally forgot I can just save the Rayleigh. Yeah, and then they swing the 5. So now we do get to block for free. So that was definitely a mistake, but that's okay. So now I think we can... I don't know how much counter they play in their deck, but I think we just start with like a 6 here. Cycle out the Shanks. Yeah, cycle out the Shanks. Because I can play the Kaido and draw 4 and then probably clear their board. Because we'll just go... I mean, let's just go... If I go 12, 15, so that's 7, 9... I'm like so... Like I probably have it, I'm just second guessing myself. Because I'm trying to think if we need to kill them here. Because this is going to go to 8. We can go at one of the Peronas. We'll leave a blocker standing. So yeah, I think we probably just go for board here and play it a little bit safer. This is going to draw me 4 bricks. Alright, cool. I didn't want to attack with that anyways. Draw 4. Very nice. We have 3 2Ks. Back to 7 in hand. I'm going to leader effect, reduce the Bonney. Let the Kaido swing for 12. And then we'll just go 12 into 8. Oh, they let it die. Cool. And then we can go 12 into the Perona. And then we can just kill them next turn. This was probably overkill. Like, it was probably better, but we were at a point where we don't play too many bricks, and we also play a couple 0 costs. So, like, yeah, there's a world where I could have drawn, like, 3 bricks, but I think this is fine. And then now we're in a point where it's impossible for us to die, and then I think we guarantee win next turn. Yeah, we have a lot of damage for next turn. I'm not familiar with the deck enough to know how much counter they play. Like, for all I know, this could be like 7 2Ks. Like, if you're playing against a Nell, you can kind of assume they're going to have like 7 2Ks. So we'll just give the 2-1. I'm just going to counter out of these and then do the same thing where I block the 10 with Nami. And then we'll keep the Nami alive so we have an extra swinger for when we go for game next turn. And then I think we can just start with like a 9 or a 13 even. But 9 sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so they had 1... Oh, they only had 2 2Ks. Okay, yeah, so we probably had game last turn, but... Blaze Slice, it rests a 4. Yeah, so even with Blaze Slice, they couldn't have gotten around Nami. So I think we were pretty good regardless. Play against Ace, and they do win the dice rolls, so they're probably going to pick to go second, as I think they should. From what I've played so far, I feel like this matchup's pretty solid for Vivi, but obviously this leader is very new for a lot of people, I assume, playing into this. I don't really have anything I want to play. I mean, I guess I have Cavendish for 5, Beckman for 7. So like I could bottom deck their Jozu, but then they can just bounce my Cavendish before I really do anything. So I do like to get one of my other 5-cost characters out on 5. If I can get like a Vivi into a Nami, I'm fairly happy about that. Just so I can at least stick one of the bodies. But I think I'm generally just looking to stay fairly healthy so that we can tank some of their larger swings later into the game. We don't have anything to play here, so I think I'm fairly happy to just swing 8 at the ace here. They probably take it, and then we can pass there. Next turn, we can play down one of our Namis. Very possibly just gets bounced by Jozu, but they do miss Marco, which is very good for any deck playing into ace. We don't want to take both of these attacks, so I am going to counter out of this with one of my cards. We can either counter with the Nami, the Otama, or the Beckman. Next turn, I'm going to look to play... I think I'll probably play this Nami next turn. So I think I'll give the Otama here. This might be a mistake because I might want to keep the power reduction for later into the game. But I think I'm okay doing that. And then I don't think I need to swing with my Nami here. So I think we can just clear this Garp. I don't think he's going to do too much for them. But unfortunately, we do not have the Vivi. So we can go ahead and just play out the Nami. I do think I'm going to want to play these Shanks, but I'm going to go ahead and just bottom deck at least the Nami, and then I think we can get rid of the Vivi as well. It's a little bit greedy to hold on to these 3 bricks, but I think that's okay, and we'll just try to stay up. We're not going to be staying super healthy now. So I can block 2k. We're going to 7, so I'm going to be able to bottom deck this, because I'll just leader effect before I play the Beckman, which will let us bottom deck the Yamato. I'm trying to think if I want to take one of these. I think I will take one of these, and then I can block and give anything. Okay, they actually don't want to swing the Yamato, so fair play to them. I will just go ahead and leader effect this, give nothing rush basically, and then we'll bottom deck the Yamato to get it off board. And I'm going to leave the Nami standing because their best play here is to play the 8 cost event into the 10 cost Newgate. And then they'll swing 8 at us. I could give 2/2Ks, or I can just block and give 1 brick to keep my Nami alive and then not take any damage. Alright, so they whiff the 8 cost event as well, so they're seeing nothing this game. So we'll just block, resolve, get rid of a Nami. Going to 9, they're going to play something, probably a Marco. If they were going to play a Yamato, they should have played it first. Okay. Pudding makes sense there as well. So yeah, we can just play a Rayleigh here, and then, I mean, we'll just get rid of their pudding, I guess, and then give it rush so that we can swing 8 as well. So we can get 2 8s, and then I'm going to leave the Nami blocker standing. And then we are a blue deck, so we do get to play the lovely red rock card. So I'm guessing they just didn't have a 10 cost Newgate to play off the event. Yeah, so they'll take that, and then they will go to their Tendon turn. Now they can play a 10 cost Newgate, and we can actually just use our leader effect to reduce this and then KO it with the Shanks. So the Shanks doesn't get rush, but getting to remove their Newgate is quite strong. So this doesn't have rush, so I'm going to just block, resolve, and then trash a Nami out of hand to keep the Nami alive. I really love the fact that we can just block and give a card. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and just do what I said, where I'm just going to reduce this to a 10. Nothing's going to get rush, and then we'll play out the Shanks to KO a 10k power character, and then swing 7, 8 at them. I could have played the Red Rock as well, but getting a 12k body on board is obviously very strong. And again, I think we can just leave this Nami standing, just so that we can tank any of the larger swings they want to swing at us and stay at 2 life, because we can just block and then give the Vivi. Alright, so they swing 6 at us, so I am going to just give a 2k for that. And unfortunately, we don't have any of our card draw cards, but do we want to block? Yeah, I think we can just block, resolve, and then I'm going to give the Vivi. I don't think we're going to end up playing that. Definitely going to play the Red Rock here, and then we can just swing like 8, 8, 8, 12, I think. Yeah, so 8, 8, 8, 12. And I think we'll be in a very good spot there. So just bottom deck the Newgate, and then we can just start with an 8. If I really wanted to, I probably could I think I can just swing the Nami at the Utsa here just to get it off board so that she can't like restand and tank one of the swings later. We'll go 8. And then, yeah, so 8 they can get out of, and then we swing 12 and they block, but they really don't have anything to do next turn. So obviously they didn't really see too much. Like, they missed Marco on 4 and then they missed the event on 8. But all right, so we're playing against Mihawk here. They win the dice roll and get to pick the turns. So far I've liked just going second as Vivi most games that I've played, just looking to play Cavendish on that 4-Don turn. And then I also am playing the 3-cost. I think it's Vivi is the character. I am blanking on the name, but we do get to go second, so we can get the Cavendish down on 4, and then we could play the Nami on 6. Obviously, I'd like to find a Vivi so that we could play the Vivi and the Nami together. But worst case, we do have at least like a 4 and a 6 on play, and I'm sure we'll draw into other cards as well. And the Mihawk does have a passive effect saying when your opponent's leader has the slash, and funny enough, we do have the slash, so he is a 6k leader for us. So far, this matchup hasn't felt too difficult from Vivi's side. I think just being able to give a card to save any of your characters is really strong against some of these like more board removal centric decks. And then just being able to reduce the power of their characters on board is super strong. Like the Shanks, that's really strong in this deck. The 7 costs 9k. I can just give it minus 2000 power and have one of my big 12k bodies swing into it. I do like that the way that they did Vivi as a leader, because she's basically a leader that can't attack, but she is a leader that can attack, so I feel like they balanced it really well, because historically the can't attack leaders are just not very strong. I wasn't playing when Rebecca was meta, but I do know that there was a period of time where she was at least playable. So we could swing 5 here, but they do get the buff. So they're a 6k leader, so there's no point in doing that. And then unfortunately, because of the Cavendish having a 1 attacking effect, we can't actually give him rush with our leader effect. But next turn we can look to just play Vivi into Nami, get 2 characters on board, and then the Nami will draw us 3. We can bottom deck 2, and we can swing with the Cavendish to draw another card. So able to draw quite a few cards. I probably will take the life that they swing here, because I would kind of have to zero cost, because I don't want to give up any of these 3 cards here. Yeah, just swings 9, pretty simple there, so we'll just take that. Alright, so I actually think I will play out. Do I want to play out this Nami or this Nami? Both of them are more or less fine. The Nami is more of like a value play. This is more of a board control play, I guess, just getting to reduce their TCG. So honestly, I think I could just save this for next turn and then we could play the Nami, but it really doesn't matter between the two. I'm going to hold on to the Shanks and the Kaido. We don't need all of those VVs, so I can just get rid of one of those. And then I can swing... I could swing 6 with my leader, but I'm gonna play out the Nami here. So we could play this one out and then swing 8, or we could play this one out and then swing 7. He does take that one, so we can go ahead and just play out the VV. This one's gonna let us draw a card as well, so there really isn't too much of a difference between the two. I think I'll just play out the Nami here. I do want to hold on to the Rayleigh, I think, so we can bottom one of these and then a 0 cost, because we do have the Cavendish on board. And then I can just go ahead and swing 6 here, because I don't need to like swing and rest my Nami, because this will be able to like block and give a 1k for one of their 6k swings, so I can preserve one of my 2ks, even though I don't actually have a 1k, but... Alright, yeah, we actually can't block anything. I take it back. Get to rest nothing. Going into 8, we do get to play the Rayleigh. So they swing 8 into 6 here. Unfortunately, we can't block, but I do think I want to counter out of this swing, because then if they swing with their leader next, regardless of how big it is, I can just give 1 card because of my leader effect. So I'm fairly happy to just give the 2 cards there, knowing that he'll draw another card for me. So it's kind of like I gave 1 card to save it, which I would pretty happily do if they swung 6. And then once he swings into it again, I could just give 1 more card out of my hand, which I think I'll probably give the Vivi here. Because I'm going to want to go Rayleigh into one of the 10 costs. And I really don't want to give up this Shanks, knowing how good it is into their 7-cost Shanks. 10 into us we'll just take because we cannot block. I would just block and give 1 card there if I could have blocked, but I cannot. I'm not sure what the Perona typically plays out here. And what we could do is just use our leader effect to give the Tashigi -2 so that I can KO it with the Rayleigh. Because I can put it to a 6 and then Rayleigh would KO it. I think I'm fine doing... Let's see, what do we want to do here? Actually, because we can just do... Does this come out rested? No, it does not. Okay. So let's just start with a 6 at the Perona here and see what we end up drawing. I'll keep the 2Ks. I think I can get rid of one of my Rayleighs because I have the Shanks for 10. And then at that point, we probably will start playing like another either Kaido or Shanks. And then just start to play out blockers. I guess they could play a Perona off of the Perona if they wanted to. But if they did do that, then obviously this would only last until the end of my turn. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So what do we want to do here? I definitely want to play Rayleigh. I'm trying to think if I want to like reduce and KO this. I think what I'll do is just play this, reduce, KO this, and then they can play out another 5. Because I kind of want them to play out another Perona, but they probably just play Tashigi out, I assume. I feel like that's probably the target that they have for that. Oh, they have nothing. Okay, well, that works out really well. So now we can just reduce this, and then this can swing into the Tashigi and clear their board, and then now we're in a really good spot. Oh, do they have a counter event? Oh, they do. Okay. Cool. Not sure that's worth. Alright, and they just leave. Though they were about to... I guess they just play Shanks next turn, and then we pop Shanks it, and then from there, I feel like it's kind of just free, because, like, they keep this alive, they play Shanks, they swing, we counter, play pop Shanks, KO their Shanks, and then we can give it rush. So we have like 6, 8, 12, or 6, 6, 8, 12, draw 2, trash 1. This KOs their Shanks, so then they can go into Law and Beppo, but we're already like 5 wide. So I don't really think there's any way to come back into the game for them.